Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Chinese Tier 7 Premium Light Tank, the Dragon Type 62. Now this is again another tank that you could pick in the Monster Hunter Earn-Up that is currently going off, because it is Halloween, that's the way it always is. And it's a pretty damn old school premium light tank because, well, this came out a very, very long time ago. And it is the Type 62, but obviously with the Dragon skin. And it's a decent light tank. It's one that I don't get on with that much, and that's because it's not really the quickest, and the gun doesn't like me. It's probably a way of saying you're going to see a lot of shots as well. I mean, it's one of those things I could make it better because I don't run vertical stabilizers. I run camo net instead because obviously the camo is okay, but not great unless you make it better with camo net. So it's like, all round as a Tier 7 light tank, I'm just not the biggest fan of what it does. I would much rather be in something like the Lycan, for example, you know, because of the T71DA, just because you've got that slightly better top speed, you've got that camo, which is similar, you've got that view range, and you've got the 6-shot autoloader, which is absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, I just feel like when I play the Type 62, I'm kind of just a worse medium tank, you know? I feel like I'm a medium tank that's shed a lot of stuff to become a light tank that's still not that good. And so it's not a bad tank. It's just that I feel like there's far better out there, and there's a lot of things about it that annoy me, like this gun where it just decides, you know, I'm going to miss that shot because why not? It's what it does quite often to me, unfortunately. But like I say, it is capable. You can do a decent amount with it, but it does struggle a fair bit when you are bottom tier because of the fact that you know your camo's not the best for a light tank. It's not bad at all. It's pretty good, to be fair, but it's not the best for a light tank. And then, like say, your gun handling's not the best, and then your view range is pretty decent with 390 for a Tier 7 light tank, but at the same time, you know, if you get against Tier 8s and Tier 9s, your view range is like, yeah, that's, you know, whatevs. And then you've only got that 60 km/h top speed as well, which for a light tank is not really that fast at all. And I couldn't find it in my heart to put something like the traction system on to go at 66 km/h because I really wanted to help the camo out as a light tank, you know? But hey ho. So, yeah, the Type 62, it does have that 320 metres of steel concealment, which, like I say, is not bad at all. That's actually pretty damn good. But it's just not as good as some of the other light tanks out there. And I feel like if I'm in a light tank that's as slow as this one is, I feel like I want to have better camo than that, right? You also have only 5 degrees of gun depression, which makes situations like this very, very awkward too, and it makes using the gun fairly awkward. You do have a nice alpha damage, though, of 180, which, to be fair, isn't actually that bad for this kind of light tank, because a lot of the tanks that have this kind of caliber of gun tend to have like 135 damage or 150 damage, so 180 is pretty damn nice, and you do feel that alpha being quite nice when you're getting to pepper people. And I have no idea what this P43 I think this turd just basically gave up the moment I kept being a nuisance and kept, you know, pulling back and shooting at him. But yeah, you've got that 390 view range, you've got the 60 km/h top speed, which is just not that quick for a light tank. You've got the 180 alpha, though, which is pretty nice. You've got 145 damage, 145 AP penetration with 220 heat penetration. Now, the 220 heat is good enough for a light tank at Tier 7. That's pretty damn nice. Although there are a fair few Tier 9s that you will struggle with 220 heat because, you know, you'll not have the pen for some of the weak spots on the front, but you want to get around the side, and then the heat just gets absorbed by the side. But that's a lot of the heavily armoured tanks that you might face. The 145 is decent as well, but it's not the best in the universe. But for a light tank at this tier, actually, it's pretty good, to be fair. And yeah, on the whole, the tank also has that 0.37 accuracy, which, like I say, isn't derpy, but once you get in beyond the 0.35 accuracy spectrum, that's where guns start to become derpy, right? 0.35 and below is sort of like, yeah, pretty accurate. You can get it really nicely accurate. 0.35 and above is where it's starting to go, yeah, I'm getting a little bit derpy now, and I like to miss shots every now and then, and that's where RNG likes to take the wheel and go, ha, no. It's what it does. It's what it does. Also, the problem with the Dragon as well is something you've just seen there with that Super Hellcat. You get shot anywhere from the mid of the turret to the back end, your engine dies. Every time. Your engine just breaks. My experience is, I get shot in the back end, my engine breaks, and I cry. And yeah, it can be pretty frustrating in that regard as well. So just on the whole, I feel like it's really mediocre to just not that nice to play. Like, the DPM's not too bad, because I mean, 3.6 second reload for 180 alpha at tier 7 is really quite nice, especially when you get top tier. It's absolutely beautiful. The other problem as well, by the way, is that you do tend to run out of rounds in the longer games, and you're going to see that a bit in this game too. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the Type 62, or the Dragon? I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Trap Mechanic, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, and Camouflage Expertise. I run Camouflage Expertise because I want to make the camo as, well, as nice as I can get it generally. And then I run the 3 gun perks because, like I say, this gun is a bit of a troll at times, as you've seen quite a few shots already in this game, where they just seem to spoon, and then they spoon wide and miss targets all the time, and it's really, really frustrating. And then, in terms of equipment, I run the Advanced Loader, the Camo Net, and Optics. Optics because, well, you're a light tank, you want to make your view range as good as possible because you want to be spotting what you can as far as great a distance as possible. The Camo Net because I do want to make my camo as good as humanly possible. I want to be able to keep unspotted, and this is one of the reasons why here, where I'm be able to poke up, stay unspotted, and then as soon as I fire, I get spotted and I get to run away. That's the exact reason why I run the Camo Net, so it makes it as hard as possible for them to spot me. And that means that I can also maximise my ability to spot in bushes and stuff like that too. And then Optics because, again, view range, view range, view range, view range. You want to make your view range as good as possible and get that assistance damage, because that is what you want to be doing in your scouts. I mean, again, there's multiple different ways you can kit this tank out. If you don't feel comfortable with that 60 kilometers an hour top speed, you can quite easily go for the traction system and then get yourself up to 66 kilometers an hour, which is pretty nice. If this gun frustrates the hell out of you, quite easily, you could also just drop the Camo Net and run vertical stabilizer, or the gun stabilizer as well, because that will make you better on the move and with your turret traverse, which will help you yet again with your dispersions on the move, so the gun doesn't bloom up anywhere near as much as it does. So far in this game on Nebelberg, we've managed to get 3.6k damage with 1200 assistance. We managed to do a decent amount of spotting. We've managed to use the flanked positions pretty well so far, and we've dished out a fair amount of damage on the enemy team. There's currently 6 tanks left on said enemy team. The SMV CC56, that's managed to pull all the way back. So what I'm going to do is I'm instead going to move closer to the hill, where I might spot the Basotto if I get close enough by proxying, and I can try and actually spot the SMV as well and try and get a shot into his side from over here. Plus there was a medium tank up there, so maybe I'll spot that too. So we're just going to use our abilities to try and get round, and there we spot the VK3000 and 1P, and it's like, hello bro, just let me pull back and get the shot in. So we fire the shot as we're pulling back, and we fired just a little bit too late, and the Hellcat managed to get the kill. So now that that VK3001P's gone, I'm thinking, okay, you know what, I'm going to go try find the SMV, and there we go. The SMV gets spotted. We have the absolute pixel shot on his turret. Derpy gun, did I say? Yeah, of course. And it goes straight in. But now we're detecting, it's like, oh no, that's the Basotto. We're going for the shot on the move, get the shot, it bounces! It bounces on the Basotto! We get a second shot in, it pens him. Imagine if we'd penned, he's damaged our engine, which means we can't manoeuvre out the way. And the Basotto manages to finish us off. He caught us out there, good and proper, but we still finished with the victory. 2 kills, 3.8k damage, 1500 assistance. The ace tank of the high caliber, the Confederate. 2.1k base XP. Really nice game for the Dragon there. We're in a really top tier matchup. Well, I say when this tank's top tier, it's not that bad. It's pretty nice. You can just play it as that lightly armoured medium tank, pretty much, because your DPM is really nice, and you've got really good view range, you've got pretty good camo. But it's where it starts to struggle is against those tier 8s and tier 9s. And now we're into the second and final game of the video, and this one I played on stream live the other day, on Wednesday, and we are on Cliff. And this is going to be a pretty quick game. So on Cliff, I am going to take the middle. We've spawned down low, so what we're going to do is take the middle, and by doing this, we can try and spot them out, and we can try and get some assistance. So we get spotted as we cross, we get a shot or two into these guys, and we managed to get away without taking another hit. And I decided, okay, no one else has joined me in this bowl. I don't like that, because what tends to happen still is that if no one joins you in the bowl, well, generally they just decide to finally come around the corner and then you get boned. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to this cheeky little bush that you saw me using the lichen video the other day, and we're going to try our best to farm and try and farm assistance. So we get a shot into the T-67 because basically I got here and I've not spotted anybody coming up. There's one medium tank that's been spotted there at G7, but no one else has been spotted coming up. Which made me think, okay, you know what? I'm going to take some shots at the T-67, and maybe I'll get away with it. And I'll be able to farm him, and that's what happened. I decided, okay, I want to try and get a shot into the M44 with HE. Do not want the artillery to get away if I can help it, but we are also lighting these guys up. So, again, we get unspotted. This is the benefit of having the camo. We pull back into the bush. It's like, hello, friends. We fire at the VK and don't get spotted. So we shut the VK down. We do get spotted that time. And we're just going to chance it to get a shot into this griller. So we get one into him there. We've broken his engine. I'm chancing. Get a shot into the griller. And we've managed to pull back just in time to get away from his wrath. And now we've got some shots into the VK3001D. So we're just going to keep popping shots into him as well. We've really got the enemy team panicked with our position. We've noticed the IS-2M is in the dip. And I'm looking going, okay, I can't go out and get him because he's currently looking at us. And I don't want to take that big hit. Now the KV-85 is progressing up into the open. We are spotting him, so we are getting assistance. But why not use the DPM? He's got a slow turret traverse while it's tracked, so we managed to get 2 shots into him before he managed to turn the gun round. He fires, so we shut down the KV-85. It's been, what, 2.5 minutes? We're up to 2.5k damage with 2.5k assistance. It's going pretty damn well. We get shot in the back, and it's like, oh, the VK's here. Oh, wait, my friend from behind me is dead. Oh, that's awkward. I didn't notice that whatsoever. We get a nice shot in to track the VK, and I'm just trying to rely on my DPM here to get him and hope that my team from the distance can actually shoot him because they all have shots, but nobody's hitting him, which means that we can't quite get the shot in. We missed that one. He gets shut down, and unfortunately we get shut down by the IS-2M that's finally come up. And unfortunately we get shut down there, but we finished the 3 minutes. In 3 minutes we did 3.1k damage, 3k assistance. So that's 6k combined in a tier 7 game in 3 minutes. And we finished with Patrol Duty, Ace Tanker, Scout Medal, High Caliber, Confederate, Sniper Medal, and the 2.1k base XP. A really great game in the Dragon again, in such a quick game. And that's, again, that shows where the Dragon can rack up damage really, really quickly. And if you use your camo and your view range to a good effect, you can get a pretty damn nice game out of it too. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!